Please don't fail me, Ultraset. Greetings, everyone. Director Arketer here. Dressed the entire time, no matter what you're about to hear Froman say. Welcome to the Director Arketer's live and the Wednesday open mic article Wade. I will be employing Gray as chat manager once again, although for any reason and I'm also already joined by, let's see, what do we have here again? Angry Froman, Gray, chat manager, and Mistress Steam, and the Smoking Rat.
Wait, Mistress?
Yes, that's your handle here. I'm not going to officially recognize that title in the slightest, because it's quite simply not true. By the way, greetings, Mr. Foxlot, Ezio, Jordan Shadowlighting, Legend for both Occam's Router, Spike Fontaine, and Jarl Falstaff. We're in for an interesting one, and I don't know about you, but I'm prepared. When I read these titles off to you, I think you'll understand. First off, we have Spider Scare leads to Georgia woman's van rolling into river. This is a great one to start off with, because if all else fails, well, at least your dating go this badly. The man floated downstream a few feet in a river north of Atlanta and then became totally submerged, police said. A spider scare landed a woman's van in the river. An unidentified, Georgia woman was backing her Kia van down a boat ramp to put her kayak in a river in Kingston, about 56 miles north of Atlanta, on Sunday when she was startled by an unwanted visitor. A spider suddenly jumped in her lap, according to Georgia State Patrol press release. Frightened, the woman said she jumped out of the vehicle without putting it in park. The van then rolled into the Etowah River, floated downstream a few feet, and then became totally submerged. A boater in the area tried to find the van, but couldn't. The woman's insurance company will try to get a dive team to locate and remove the van, authorities said. So, whatever your present situation today is, it could be worse. Thoughts? This, by the way, comes from NBC News.
First question, did the spider survive?
That depends on whether or not it followed her out of the van. Honestly, if it was in her lap, odds are high.
I'm okay.
I think this is the main way spiders kill people, not through venom. It's just spook people in cars, and next thing you know, they're off the road.
Well, this is why people need to face their arachnophobia and get over it. Honestly, from a arachno rights perspective, this is only justice.
Because you think spiders are cute.
No. Spiders are terrifying. I don't wish them ill. I appreciate their existence overall, but it's taken me a long time just to not freak out over wolf spiders. And I am still terrified to my very core of brown recluses and black widows alike.
Someone throw a spider at Ark's face.
Someone, in this hypothetical, can go screw themselves with a rusty pike. Look, if it's a rubber spider, I'm going to be just fine, because I'm not that stupid. But if you somehow get a brown recluse or black widow, then if I survive, we're going to have problems.
I just want to point out, I don't want economic stability. I hate spiders. Let there be genocide.
I didn't do anything. Bloody threatening me. I didn't do anything yet, you fucking asshole.
So you're suggesting that you're going to be the hypothetical person to throw a spider in my face. Good to know in advance. My guard is up, but it was never down with you to begin with, so we're...
Ark's hiding his true feelings.
It balances out.
Nothing
No
with
real...
any legs and eyes should be furry.
No, although I will admit that when it comes to... If you look at the videos of salt acid or jumping spiders, they are pretty much arachnid kittens, so it's really hard to be bothered by them. The problem is with them is that they're only cute when you look at them up close, and the human mind goes, "Oh dear God, kill it," long before you get to see them up close, which is generally, given the existence of brown recluses and black widows, probably wise. Greeting, conservative Californian, you're all fall stuff. Greetings, Arketer, how goes my dude? Fine. Lieutenant Timberwolf, are we getting a tassel dance stream? Only in the event of a $500 donation in one stream, or possibly a 500 collective accumulation over the course of the stream with a meter going at the time, which hopefully is still quite improbable and probably best this time because, look, I'm just not prepared, for being quite honest there.
Please, if one of you listening is filthy rich, do it.
Ignore him. Ignore him!
You don't want $500?
It's more... Look, it's a matter of ethical concern. See, I have the Band-Aids, but I'm not really sure what could possibly use on them to simulate nipple tassels, so we'll address this later on in some sort of charity stream, in theory. Let's see.
I mean, I've already seen him in nipple tassels, so I'm
Filthy lies. I don't... Oh, really? And how much did you pay me? Because I have prices, but they go up pretty exponentially on this point. And I'm pretty sure I haven't received 500 US from you!
We were talking in private and your camera accidentally came on.
Bullshit.
Laundry,
And upon seeing it, so did Miss Steam.
Yeah, I'm new.
Let me just...
Songs from Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, not wrong.
Next article. Middle school students allegedly fed urine and semen-filled crepes to teachers.
Ew.
Does anyone want to read this one? Shall I hand this one off to one of you fine, upstanding people?
I don't know whether to condemn or respect what they did.
It's in White Post. It might even be readable to some of you filthy foreigners.
You fucking what?
I'm sorry, that's very tongue-in-cheek. If I seriously offended you, I am deeply...
Of course not.
Deeply sorry. I will try to do better. No, I'm not going to, really. This is all pretty tongue-in-cheek.
Oh, please, if you want to rip the shit out of the Europe.
Yes, I look, this isn't the first time I have mocked everywhere not in the US, and probably won't be the last, although I will grant America deserves a fair share of mockery in its own right. But, hey, to be fair, we mostly cover things like Florida Man here, so it's not like I'm being terribly biased.
Florida definitely gets the worst of it.
Yes, although not just Florida, as we will get to later, spoilers. Did someone really want to read this article?
Yeah, I've got the article up.
Oh, okay. Well, then go on. Wait, hold on. Everyone talked at once. I don't know who has dibs on this.
Let's do it, Angry Grayman.
What?
Okay, hold on. I have a solution. Gray,
Yes.
you take the first first 4 paragraphs, because just to be sure we get worst class ever in there.
Okay. Wait, you're classing worst class ever as a parent? Okay.
No.
Worst class ever? Question mark? A group of middle school students in Ohio allegedly served urine and semen-filled crepes to their teachers during a gourmet cooking competition, and are now being investigated by the local authorities, the report says. The stomach-churning meal went down Thursday at Hyatt's Middle School in Powell, according to WBNS. The teachers involved were reportedly judges for the cooking contest, which happened during a global gourmet class and was captured on video. Several students allegedly put urine and/or semen onto the crepes and fed them to faculty members, the local sheriff's office reports. Was that 4?
Yeah, I guess. Investigators were probing the incident on Monday, weighing felony assault charges. A lawyer for one of the students asked the public to use caution before reaching any conclusions. The incident could have been a prank that may have been mocked up for the purpose of creating a video, said attorney Brad Koffel. We don't know if the urine or semen was ever placed in anyone's food. I don't know how the school would know that. Authorities would have worked with the school officials and conducting lab tests to verify the alleged substances involved. The safety and security of the students and staff is of the utmost importance, read a statement of the Olentangy School District on Monday. District leadership and local law enforcement are conducting a thorough investigation into the incident. Anyone found in violation of school policies will be held accountable for their actions.
Well, first off, the attorney is presenting quite the reaching hypothetical that this was all a prank mocked up for the purposes of creating a video, and we don't know if it actually happened, and I don't know how the school would know that, but they're doing tests, and I'm pretty sure they can find out that way.
Middle schoolers aren't that clever. They are that cruel, though.
Yeah.
There was a very short skit that was released a month ago, and this is the perfect skit.
Maybe.
Just imagine the teachers like,
My immediate
salty.
It just put it in general.
Yeah, I'm sure that they're going to notice something tasting a bit strange about all that. I'm wondering, personally, what do you think the relevance of the name Olentangy had to do with this? This is the Olentangy School District. Do you think they drove inspiration from that? Also, Straight Sith Male asks, what did the teachers do to deserve it, if anything? I'm sorry, Straight Sith Male, the odds of them doing anything that would actually warrant this are pretty slim. Also, whoever did this couldn't be sure that only the bad teachers ate it. Unless you're going to say they're all bad. No.
It's part of a global gourmet class, so who knows? Maybe somewhere this is actually a gourmet meal.
Everyone, after this live stream, watch Skeletor Goes Too Far.
There's a.
The idea from.
I would have to find it, but there's an article where people make like sausages from their own menstrual blood. I mean,
that's not where I was going with this. But okay, that's even worse.
Yeah, the menstrual blood porridge, the menstrual blood cookies, the menstrual blood cake.
Oh no, stop!
It's coming out for a reason.
Stop! Please stop.
There are also people who cook their placentas.
Yep.
Oh, and menstrual blood milkshakes.
Just no.
So menstrual shakes.
Men shakes?
You know,
that sounds like it's going right back to cum again.
I've heard a lot about these things, and also I don't understand what these bizarre super feminists are thinking. Just making assorted edibles.
I don't think they are thinking. They're just going off instinct.
It's
Medical
waste.
Their instincts are wrong.
At the moment,
I must prove women are better.
At the moment,
It's medical waste.
At the moment, they're working on natural yeast to make bread.
Oh yeah!
Oh god!
That's already been done, I thought.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I thought
god!
I've already done that.
Did I get disconnected?
No, but you would have been justified to.
Of the yeast.
It would have been just. Look, let's move on here. Chicago High School yearbook had photos of students flashing white supremacist signs. Supremacists. Chicago High School yearbook had photos of students flashing white supremacist signs, so they say, those colossal retards. I'm sorry, that's insensitive, mentally disabled people. So the board spent $53,000 to print new ones.
$53,000 just to print a new one.
A school!
$53,000.
A school in Chicago will spend tens of thousands of dollars reprinting its 2018-19 yearbook after several photos contain students posing with a hand gesture which has links to white supremacy, say we garbage hack writers who should already be preparing for a departure from the field of journalism for plumbing. Administrators at the Oak Park and River High Forest High School announced it will spend a total of $53,794 to replace 1,750 copies of Tabula after the staff found 18 photos of students making an upside-down OK sign.
Back now? Am I stable?
Yes.
Semi.
Thank God. Yeah, my VPN didn't let me go back onto the call. I had to change
wait.
over.
Upside down sign. I'm confused because if you do the OK sign upside, then it would be W and D. But if you do it upside down, it's P and M. I don't get where they're coming from this.
Oh look! What hatred is conveyed by this hand gesture? Oh no! You are now all irrevocably sullied by this hand gesture. Report yourselves to the authorities for being white supremacists.
There is the circle game. Maybe it was a reference to that.
Yes, I suspect it might have been. In a letter sent to the community, Superintendent Joy Lynn Pruitt Adams said that while the seemingly innocuous hand gesture could be interpreted as students of various races, ethnicities, genders, and grades playing what is known as the circle game, the upside-down OK hand sign has also become associated with white nationalism, the far right. But no, it actually hasn't. Not even the 4chan prank did that! That was for this. What? Power! Don't believe this is totally a white supremacist symbol. This hand gesture has not been appropriated by white supremacists. It's been aggressively gifted to them by mentally disabled individuals, I got it right this time, who are just so desperate to be seen as heroes fighting racism. What was that, Steam?
An aggressive gift.
I think the technical word is retarded.
But that's insensitive. It is the technical term, but that's insensitive. You'll get banned from Twitter from using the R word. So, let's go and oblige them and say mentally disabled instead. Why not? It means the same thing. And this is one of the reasons why words are not violence, because if you took all of human language and replaced it with nothing but people dropping F-bombs and worse, then the result is that people would find more practical uses for F-bombs and worse. We would become incredibly vulgar Marklar.
I guess I can call them spastics, but that's just a bit mean.
That might work.
Don't you remember that time that I slit someone's throat with an adjective right in front of you?
Words can kill people. They can kill.
Yes, words are violence, but milkshakes are perfectly acceptable to throw on people.
Words cannot kill. We do not live in the Dune universe.
Oh yeah? Words can't kill? Hey, Gray.
Yeah? What?
Stink.
Are you still with us, Gray?
I killed him.
Did you die? Are you bleeding?
I wish, but no, unfortunately not. Didn't work.
Brace yourself. This one's gonna hurt. You're a prestigious addlepate.
I'm just confused.
I'm just glad you're trying to revive dated insults. My favorite is Ventos Whittling. Ventos means babbling, and Whittling means without a brain worth mentioning. Witless, in short.
I like Twazak.
Twazik?
Twazak is a good one.
Huh, that's what I know about. We've all learned something today. Let's see, catching up on chat, Assassin the Great. Remember, everything is sexist, everything is racist, everything is homophobic, and you have to point it all out. But if any of that's true, then nothing is worth mentioning. Assassin the Grey, Director! We all played the circle game all the time in the United States Army. The racists have infiltrated the United States Army!
They've been there from the beginning.
I mean...
Joke, by the way. That was a joke. That was a
joke.
joke.
It explains nothing, but says everything.
That's an appropriate choice.
You know, Ark, wasn't it like the very last stream where you said you never drank on stream? It was either the last stream or like 3 streams ago.
He's been a man. Can't help but drink when you see this shit.
He's been drinking a lot more since my interview with him. So.
Fuck, I'd be drinking right now. I wasn't so poor.
In response, I want to be clear that we are not making any presumption about students' intent in using the gesture, Pruitt Adams wrote. Regardless of intent, however, there is a real negative impact. Many students, not only are students of color, experience this gesture as a symbol of white supremacy, potentially subjecting all students to this trauma. It's simply not acceptable. We are concerned that the gesture will become more closely associated with white supremacy in the future. Publishing the photos in question could not only harm students today, but could subject students to potentially a lifetime of questions and penalty from colleges, employers, and etc. So shut up, Froman. Right, with all due respect.
Wait, I have a question. We're at the point where making the OK sign, saying that you're doing good, is more offensive than flipping someone off. It will hurt you more than flipping someone off.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
By the way,
we have to protect these children from the society that we intend to create in which we associate this symbol more closely with white supremacy.
By the way, Arketer, have you got fired from Direwolf yet?
On that note, I would like to stress everyone out there, if you enjoy Director Arketer Live or the Saturday guest streams, feel free to donate to the Direwolf Media Streamlabs, because that encourages them not to get rid of me. Just, throwing that out there.
Don't donate. I want them to get rid of them.
I would donate, but I'm poor as fuck.
Look, it's no obligation, just, if you'd like to help encourage them to keep me around. I suppose if you hate me, you don't... As reported by the Anti-Defamation League, ADL, the OK hand gesture being linked to white supremacy started as a trolling campaign by users on the controversial message board 4chan. The quote-unquote Operation OKK campaign was launched to trick people into thinking the gesture, frequently used by President Donald Trump during his public speaking, was meant to promote white supremacy as the fingers spell out WP. I would like to stress that this is the hacks writing this saying, and oh yes, this was entirely a hoax, meant to point out how stupid, gullible, and easily suggestible we are. But you should totally be deeply offended by this anyway, because we tell you to.
I can't wait. I intend to run for president and drop the N-word and play dumb with people, because that will just be perfect. When they try to accuse me of saying an inappropriate word, I'm going to ask them which word. I don't know. Which word did I say was inappropriate? They're going to say N-word. I'm just going to say something along the lines of nay-nay, nuance, etc., etc. It's going to be beautiful.
They always fall for this shit.
I wish
They always fall for it. 4chan, I've got it's not even that 4chan is very clever. It's just they have such an easy time.
I will be the shit poster in chief.
I wish you luck with that. Although I think when it comes to being the shitposter-in-chief, you've really been kind of beaten by Trump on that point. This is not a criticism. If I'm going to criticize Trump, it's not on that point at all. But look, these hacks, again, stressing, it's a troll campaign, but we totally fell for it, so now it's real. The OK symbol hoax was so widespread that in the spring and summer of 2017, a number of people on the far right began to deliberately use the gesture. Well, no, actually. A number of people you claim to be far right started to use the gesture, and you freaked out of it, you gullible idiots. Typically making the sign while posing for photographs uploaded to social media in order to continue the trolling and spread it further. Well, look, are they trolling or are they sincere? Do you know? Screw you, Anti-Defamation League. I remember when I thought you were credible, and I resent being so duped. Pruitt Adams? Hold on, almost went too far with that. There are, I'm sure, decent people out there who have high-fading last names. I just haven't met very many of them, which has led me to a very unfair stereotype about people with high-fading last names. And Pruitt Adams is not helping! Pruitt Adams explained in the yearbook photos that were taken on October 2018 and shipped to the printer in December before the gesture was quote-unquote, why didn't you have an association with white nationalism? No association. Brendan Tarrant, then...
What does white nationalism even mean these days? It's been thrown around so much. It's just one of those things that have lost all meaning again.
Pretty much, yes.
Well, the closest thing you could say is it's an ethno-state sort of idea. I mean, nationalism, so a country focused on a white identity. But, yeah, it's kind of the issue with the term alt-right, where the media is using alt-right as the Richard Spencer types, but, you know, back in the day, it used to mean anyone who wasn't a mainstream conservative, and it kind of got co-opted back into the Richard Spencer types. And so what people are doing, well, what the media is doing right now is they have done in the past at least, is throw alt-right around and just have that mean whatever they want it to mean because the definition has changed over time.
Yeah, they just constantly move the fucking goalposts. It's starting to get confusing.
Yusuf said, Froman, not the shitposter we want, but the shitposter we need. That's...
Sorry, I didn't mean to derail that, sorry.
No, we're fine. Brendan Tarrant, the New Zealand man accused of killing 51 people in the Christchurch mosque attacks, flashed an OK gesture during his first court appearance to face murder charges. Yes, he did. Why? Because it furthered the troll. Because he knew you idiots would be able to refrain from not only referring to it to reinforce your opinion that the OK sign was now a white supremacist gesture, but that you would also name him. You know, giving the publicity he craved, you colossal fuckwit. Dumbasses. I'm trying to curse less for the sake of Direwolf Media's growth potential and so on. But F-wits. F-wits the lot. You were saying?
Well, the Christchurch shooter was an accelerationist. He wanted people to get divisive and argue and bicker amongst each other because that brings forth chaos.
And they all, despite hypothetically knowing what he was about, played into his hands, just like Newsweek is doing right now, those colossal mentally disableds. Earlier this month, the Chicago Cubs banned a supporter from their stadium after he was recorded making the sign behind reporter Doug Glanville, who's black. Board member Matt Barron was one of those who voted against replacing the yearbook photos because he's not mentally disabled. In a statement posted to Facebook, he explained, one of my biggest concerns, that if we toss out these 1,750 tabulas, rather than come to a thoughtful conclusion about, well, why they should still be distributed, we are playing right in the hands of all the haters whose evil is at the root of this corrosive and divisive angst, and worse, that we are experiencing. Yes, strictly speaking, he's not one aggressively throwing out these books and reinforcing the argument that this, right side up or upside down, is racist. The photos in question will be placed with straightforward group shots for the new yearbook, which will take up to 4 weeks to reprint. Those idiots at the Oak Park and River Forest High School will spend nearly $54,000 replacing yearbooks after students were found making the OK hand gesture.
54,000 because some people's feelings got hurt.
But look, they aren't citing even any complaints. This is preemptive. What was the idiot's name? Joylyn Pruitt Adams. Please refer to my disclaimer at the beginning of this stream to stress that no one should give this person any grief. But when you hear the name Joylyn Pruitt Adams, do you also get sort of a mental image in your head of someone who is wearing a very tight collar and doesn't smile ever? Or alternatively, someone who smiles constantly but it never reaches their eyes.
It seems like the kind of person that only smiles when another person's been burnt down for being a racist or white supremacist.
Person who stands on the ivory tower watching the world burn.
Yeah.
Okay,
Somebody who's never had a real problem in their life.
we've burned up half the hour, so I'm just going to read out some of these titles, and you tell me what you want people in the voice chat. Want to dismantle capitalism? Abolish the family. Please don't. College students? Turn to therapy donkeys to help them de-stress. The trailer for Batwoman. We're doing this one here because I just need to know if the rest of you can guess about why this is controversial. Calvin Klein apologizes after backlash over video of Bella Hadid kissing robot. And Missouri GOP lawmaker apologizes for comments on consensual rape amid abortion bill debate. Just go ahead and take your picks. We're going to go to Calvin Klein in any case because that's... Oh dear.
What was the first one again?
What happened to Oregon Man? Did I miss that? Did I have a stroke?
Oh, no, you didn't. I'm sorry. Fremen, you're keeping me honest, and I appreciate it in this context, and possibly this very one alone. Oregon dad faked robbery and used daughter's $700 Girl Scout cookie money to pay for erotic massage. So your choices are, once again, Missouri GOP lawmaker, Oregon dad, Batwoman trailer, college students turn to therapy donkeys, and want to dismantle capitalism? Abolish the family.
I kind of want to go for the first one, or like the abolish capitalism one, family, like just because it seems like the most batshit insane.
It's pretty batshit insane.
Like,
Okay,
GOP is my vote.
one for GOP, one for batshit insane. Steam?
One for the therapy donkey.
One for therapy donkeys.
Insane?
That's two for batshit insane, and I'm guessing you're just saying that because that's the one that's going to hurt me. Very well. We're pretending this is democracy. Here we go. Want to dismantle capitalism? Abolish the family. Feminist theorist Sophie Lewis's new book looks at how rethinking pregnancy and the idea of family as a form of labor is central to emancipatory politics and also, as it happens, full Marxism communism now.
how do you rethink the idea of pregnancy?
It's
It's a pretty one-sided kind of. We know how you can't change.
Oh dear. Sophie Lewis, arguably the most infamous demand of the Communist Manifesto is the quote-unquote abolition of the family. The family, Marx and Engels noted, was where patriarchy and capitalism worked in tandem to produce willing, alienated workers, where women became little more than instruments of production for the men who lorded over them. Radical queer politics in the 1960s and 70s added to the critique of the bourgeois family when activists challenged the heteronormativity of family relations. That demand, however, has since almost completely vanished from leftist imagery. Assassin in the Grey, that name lists bald neck bearded male feminist with problem glasses who power chugs soy lattes. I'm not sure that's a reference to, but
It was reference to the Joy guy. What kind of man?
I'm pretty sure Joy Lynn is female, but it's a strange new world, so I'm not going to put money on that. Sophie Lewis, a feminist theorist and geographer, and perhaps more importantly, colossal Marxist loon, takes up this forgotten struggle in her work, her new book, Full Surrogacy Now! Feminism Against Family. Verso 2019 specifically links family abolition to a radical reconceptualization of pregnancy itself. The act of carrying a child to term, she insists, is work. labour that has long been exploited and overlooked by the Academy, and so is mothering. By thinking through the logic of commercial surrogacy arrangements, Lewis lays bare the ways that motherhood has been weaponized as an ideological construct. If this sounds like complete bullshit word soup to you, well, that's probably because it is.
I like how the communists went back to their roots. Forced abortion and forced pregnancies. Just like the original Communist Manifesto.
I like the concept of motherhood. What was the last thing there? Like, motherhood is
weaponized as an ideological construct.
I just like the idea of, like, you know, you go to war, you have your mortars and your cannons and stuff, and, like, in the mortar, you're not putting bombs, you're just putting moms.
Weaponized mothers.
Also, apparently I'm quite loud. Oh, dear God, yes I am.
You know, like, it's not anything that causes explosions, just obscene amounts of nagging.
Okay, hold on. I'm getting my audio back into not red lines. Thank you, Jordan of Shadow Lightning. I try to keep the audio balance correct, but this was a mistake. Not to check that sooner, because clearly these things have me a bit loud. Than usual, no less. By thinking through the logic of commercial surrogacy arrangements, Lewis lays bare the ways motherhood has been weaponized in ideological construct and goes. She gives us an account of the material conditions, the biological and societal violence that gestators, or people who are carrying fetuses, have to bear.
Why do we call them gestators now?
Because everything is an identity to these retards. I'm sorry, mentally disabled. Okay.
Well, you can't say mother anymore because there have been 2 trans women or trans men who have become moms. Or what would be the non-binary mom? Like,
Can you hear me?
for dad, it's father.
Her book shows us that the ostensibly feminist objection to surrogacy, ostensibly meaning in theory but not actually, or maybe not actually.
So one of my browsers crashed, so I'm on a different browser. So I'm still missing them, just on a different account. There you go.
I can't get over the gestators.
Gestators.
That sounds like something in Star Trek.
Or aliens.
You don't call them, oh, she's a mother-to-be, no, she's a gestator.
This person is not in touch with any reality that we might be commonly familiar with. Even the hypothetical reality that I presume to exist in, wherein Arketer Labs is constantly at work trying to solve humanity's problems in a clandestine, quasi-legal, quasi-clandestine... We're discreet.
Words.
It just does not make sense in objective reality or most fictional realities. It is way out there. It only makes sense in the original Communist Manifesto because it's just sheer fantasy. But let's see. Her book shows that ostensibly feminist objection to surrogacy arrangements underwrites the ossified and alienated familial relations that make capitalism possible. Ossified and alienated. Keep those in mind because that implies that the family unit alienates members of the family from one another. And it's ossified because it's lasted for a very long time.
Whoa, we run the back. The family unit alienates families. What?
Yes, that's what they're saying, but wait till you hear their solution. Last month, I sat down with her over a cup of tea at the nation's offices and talked about why rethinking gestation is central to emancipatory politics and how we can use surrogacy to subvert oppression and what kinship beyond possession, beyond capitalism, beyond patriarchy could look like in our delusional Marxist utopia.
This doesn't make any sense. What have they written here? This is just a string of words. I don't understand.
Our conversation has been condensed and edited for clarity and still makes fuck all sense. Pardon? Rosemary Ho. how'd you get started on thinking about surrogacy as a kind of work? Sophie Lewis wrote, there's a line in the famous Wages for Housework manifesto that goes, every miscarriage is a work accident. The whole conversation in academia about surrogacy is focused on the reason why the practice exists in the first place, as if labor that the gestators were doing was separate from the gestating that the people do at home. I find it productive to put that question aside and just look at the workplace. Certain feminists, I think, react to the realities of how babies are sometimes commodities and how sex has become alienated and for sale by blaming the people who are working in these industries when in fact the problem is capitalism. I found myself stating the obvious: gestation was work already before it got commodified as a commercial surrogacy. So how do we build politics that bridges these two workplaces and build solidarity between paid and unpaid gestators? It's a central idea to feminism anyway that mothers aren't natural entities. They're making choices to look after this other person. It's not some sort of mechanical automatic process. It's a practice of grounding sociality. Mothers nurture, but they also kill and abuse their wards. That's why it's so valuable to denaturalize the mother-child bond. To do anything otherwise is to devalue that work. That's why the horizon, I think, opens up on the space for a revolutionary politics.
Wait. They just said that it's not a mechanical thing, and then said that we need to denaturalize it.
Yes.
Denaturalize the mother-child bond.
It's not natural. That's why we need to make it not natural.
It's so accurate to the. It's so.
Do they know how hormones work?
I don't think they have much understanding of how anything actually works.
If we didn't have that mother-child bond, the mothers would have been killing and eating the children a million years ago or whatever. Like, that bond is very, very important.
But to be more specific, how does surrogacy as a practice generate space for revolutionary politics? What does it mean to demand full surrogacy now? Note, full surrogacy now. So, their solution to this horrible, vile commercialization of motherhood is to make motherhood just another job.
What?
Well, let's hear their explanation in their own incredibly stupid word soup. SL.
I think it's very
Go on, Steam.
touching that the communists. I think it's very touching that the communists have gone back to their roots. The Communist Manifesto, this actually supports this. So, communists are finally being fucking communists.
Hey, at least the Communist Manifesto made some semblance of sense.
No, this was part of the original Communist Manifesto, so more accurately, the Communist Manifesto has been edited to present a greater illusion of making more sense than it actually does. But again, back to Resident Looney here. Currently, the whole logic of surrogacy is to excise the surrogate from the family picture. The whole point of being a surrogate is that you are never really there. That's something I want to challenge. The idea that babies belong to anyone. The idea that the product of gestational labor gets transferred as property to a set of people. That is actually one of the revolutionary horizons that the Sisterhood of Black Single Mothers advocated for. How women should belong to no one but themselves. There's a wonderful theorist, Indiana Saracen, who very helpfully gave me the phrase impossible concept to describe how surrogacy functions in my book. If everything is surrogacy, the whole question of original or natural relationships falls by the wayside. In that sense, what surrogacy means is standing in for one another, caring for one another, making one another. It's a word to describe the very actual but also utopian fact that we are the makers of one another and we can learn to act like it. Full surrogacy in that sense is a demand for real surrogacy, a commune, a proliferation of relations rather than a continuation of a logic. Well, we agree on that. There's no logic here!
Money. Blowing off steam donated $12.66.
Wait, what? Oh, Vincent Veritas also threw $10 apparently.
And Vincent Veritas, yeah, and Vincent as well.
Okay,
Yes, Money Train.
what were their messages?
I don't know, because it was a white writing on a white background. I was trying to squint and read it.
This is going to the Tassel Fund.
Okay, I've just realized that I desperately need to pester Direwell for some means of reviewing Streamlabs messages.
Vincent Veritas has asked, have you been drinking, Arketer?
No.
And blowing off steam through $12.66 a doctor, saying they didn't say anything, but they put a little image of breasts using brackets, dots, and y.
No.
So you got breasts.
Ark has large boobs now. This is canon.
I suppose it's... Well, the flask is empty anyway. Right, where were we? I don't know if I can read the rest of this. As is typical, these people tend to just write tremendous mountains of word soup to pretend that their stances make any goddamn sense whatsoever.
Oh my...
We're not going to go through all this. I think you've gotten the point. But suffice to say, to address the horrible, horrible nature of families and its capitalism's horrible, horrible effects upon it, they want to turn pregnancy into a job. You know, make sure everyone gets paid for it, or hypothetically, does it for just anyone for free, and doesn't bother to keep tabs on their offspring, because that's going to pan out well, like it never has before.
So it's basically the foster care system, but statewide.
Before the baby even comes out, yeah.
Pretty sure they want to do it globally because they're just absolutely out of their goddamn minds.
Like all communists, they want to take it all globally.
If it's not the whole planet, it's not real communism.
Remember, real communism hasn't been tried yet, so...
Folks, I would like to stress once and for all, always beware of anyone promising utopia, and if you had any reason to doubt that, one more quote, I'm an interpretive text more than critic, more than anything else, I would say, even as I bring utopianism and love to my dismantlings. Does anyone know the definition of utopia?
Isn't it like a place that doesn't exist?
That's right, Froman!
Utopia. There was this thing called Lantropa, and Lantropa was considered to be utopia, but now we look at it today, it would be more of a dystopia.
As I say, one man's utopia is another man's hell.
Utopia isn't achievable. Dystopia, though, we can nail that. China's already there. Look, we need to move on.
Yeah, they're in a utopia. The Chinese are loving it. They love it.
First-rate dystopia across the board. Okay, let's see.
Every utopia needs nets across the building to stop their employees from committing suicide.
Okay, we have 12 minutes remaining. I'm going to go ahead and unilaterally choose. Someone sent me the trailer for the new Batwoman series. I thought we might just take a quick look at that.
We're talking about Batman.
Batwoman.
Yeah, Batman.
I'm Batman.
It's Batman.
I'm Batman.
Oh, hold on. I think I need to boost the volume a bit for the people at home.
Crows represent order, security, safety.
Batman gave up on us. The Bat's not coming back.
Something's up. Eyes everywhere.
Hello, said Alice. Shall we believe the crows will protect us?
Agent Morton, copy. Do you copy?
Sophie's missing. I thought you should know.
Hey, Dad.
We're gonna find her.
Then let me help.
Bad idea.
Where'd you get this?
What happened to staying out of it?
Is there something you'd like to report to your squad?
We ran in without proper backup.
I do not want her getting in the way.
Curiouser and curiouser. What do you want? I need you to send your father a message.
You're all I have left, Kate. And I don't want to lose you too.
Wayne Security. You owe my boss a new door.
Your boss is my cousin.
You don't want to go to any of that. You were seriously not supposed to know what's down there.
So I have this thing with rolls? I need you to fix his suit.
The suit is literal perfection.
It will be. When it fits a woman.
You're a female Bruce Wayne.
Awesome. Hilarious. Handsome. They think I'm him. I'm not about to let a man take credit for a woman's work.
Okay, when I was sent this clip, I was expecting to be much worse than that. Honestly, this is pretty much in keeping with everything I've seen regarding Batwoman in comics and cartoons. Cringe, but, you know, perfectly within expectations. I'm also assessing the great...
Complaining about lesbian scene, but the thing is about lesbian scene is Catwoman is bisexual in the comics. She's had lesbian relationships.
Oh, really? I'm actually surprised because in all the comics and cartoons I've seen of Batwoman, she's not come off as bisexual. She's come off as just she-raw man-hating. Super, very, very lesbian. Which is...
I thought she was bisexual.
Did you say Catwoman or Batwoman?
Batwoman. Well, it's very feminist, you see, because she's, you know, doing the Batman things, but it's Batwoman, and that's, you know, super great.
Well, the thing is what's different is people are comparing the Batwoman's trailer to Captain Marvel, and I think that's unfair because Ruby Rose has talent as an actor, while the other girl, which I can't remember her name, Brie Larson, that's it.
Yep.
Brie Larson doesn't have any talent to her name.
Yes, I would say it compares favorably, and as you were saying earlier, Steam, I'm sure it's perfectly fine as a series if... Okay, well, you don't have to go on record on saying it. We'll go on. Earlier, Assassin the Grey said, militant feminists cannot have children because no man will have them. Well, I'm skeptical of that. Just no man will stick around. Male feminists are not men. Well, I suppose we have to quibble with the definition of man there. So they hate children out of envy of not crazy women, possibly, or alternatively want to bring about this communist dystopia to obligate men to sleep with them and raise a child that is someone's?
Oof. I need to find it again, but I believe there was an article that basically said, if you don't have sex with a woman, you are raping her. Like, if she wants to have sex but you don't, you are raping her.
Wait, so if I have sex with her, she's gonna come back and say I rape her. If I don't have... Where do we win in this situation?
There is no winning with someone that out of touch with reality. If you find a link to that article, please be sure to post that one on the Rage pages. We'll try to go over it Saturday.
Obviously, these people don't understand what rape is. But okay.
Yeah, honestly, this trailer is not as bad as I was inclined or led to believe it would be. Mostly because if you've ever seen any of Batwoman's cartoons or comics, they're on record as being far cringier than anything we just saw here. I have to say though, two major points. How the hell did she know where the Batcave was? One. Two. I got the impression that as Batwoman, she was putting a finger of a woman who was bound in place, like rescuing a hostage, but apparently taking the time to cut them free instead of just putting their hand there. That's not sexy. That's touch rapey. Just a touch rapey. And creepy.
I don't know.
Just noting that.
What she's gonna do with the batarangs?
From what I've
Maybe
seen,
in context
I've
it's
seen,
fine.
in quite a few movies and shows, and the thing is, if she's got a decent script or a good script, she'll do it pretty well. If she's got a bad script, she's screwed.
Yeah, it's very few people who can turn a bad script into something good.
You're quite right. There's a lot of upset right now with the fact that Robert Pattinson has been hypothetically drafted to be a future Bruce Wayne or Batman. And I understand a lot of knee-jerk reactions to this, but honestly, I think Pattinson deserves a chance. Because if the reason you hate him is because of Twilight, there isn't an actor alive who could have played the role of sparkly vampire douchebag and not presented sheer painful cringe short of maybe Ryan Reynolds with a licensed ad-lib.
So the thing is that I've seen Robert Pattinson in a lot of shows and a lot of movies. He can act. It was just, if you're given a bad script and you're given a bad script and a bad director and you're a great actor, you're gonna come out with shit. Like, for instance, is not Matt Smith, but the one after. He's a great actor, but when he got the role as Doctor Who, the script was so bad that he could barely work with it.
Peter Capaldi,
he made it somewhat decent, but it was still like best. I'm so sorry.
No, I think we're all pretty much in agreement here. Look, actors do their best, but they have to work with what they're given. And I'm sorry, this isn't a matter of spinning gold from straw. It's trying to spin gold from diuretic dog excretions.
Yeah. I would say if you hate the show, always blame the director and the scriptwriter. Never blame the actors, unless it's Brie Larson, because really, Brie Larson.
Also, I'm a bit skeptical that Kristen Stewart would be able to pull off Catwoman, mostly due to her bizarre inability to close her mouth. Even when she's not saying anything.
I know there's a Catwoman movie, but I never saw it.
It's spectacular, but not for any of the reasons they intended. Although credit goes to Halle Berry for accepting the raspberry for it. Okay, we are down to 1 minute. Oh dear God, we don't have time for anything else. Okay, we'll just skip to the poll. The Hill reports Kevin Kline apologizes after backlash over video of Bella Hadid kissing robot. Why is this offensive, everyone? Those of you who know the answer, do not spill it. We're going to poll the chat.
Nobody likes a robosexual.
Good suggestion, Gray. Steam?
I'm gonna. You know what? Can I change one? I want to, for a serious guess. Is it something to do with like appropriating a robot culture? Have we gone that far?
No, because it's sexual assault. Because the robot can't consent.
Broman?
I'm assuming that it's the robot is appropriating human culture because robots cannot love.
I want to say it's something about cultural appropriation.
Does anyone else want?
I'm sticking with the robots can't consent.
That's
And it's
also a good
teaching
one.
them about rape.
Okay, noted. Smoking Rat, did you have a suggestion?
No.
It's just so far afield he doesn't even know. Like, it could be anything.
Like,
Okay.
My mind goes to male and female electrical sockets, and it's just no.
Justin the Grey said the hostage was
got something.
hashtag girlfriend. Oh, greetings, Phantom Dark K266. Okay, first off, you are all wrong. And I wish you weren't, because those would have all made a lot more sense. Generally speaking. Calvin Klein apologized on social media Friday after it was criticized for a video advertisement showing model Bella Hadid kissing a female robot named Little Michaela. The 30-second video drew backlash because Hadid identifies as a heterosexual, with many critics saying LGBT models could have been used for the video.
Oh, fuck off.
Wait. So robots are gay?
Yeah, why are they assuming the robot's preferences, eh?
Michaela, the sex bot in question, tweeted, apparently, "I am here. That is my truth." The company apologized Friday, saying that it welcomes all types of constructive feedback from our community. The concept for our latest My Calvin's campaign is to promote freedom of expression from a wide range of identities, including a spectrum of gender and sexual identities, Calvin Klein said in its statement. This specific campaign was created to challenge conventional norms and stereotypes in advertising. This particular video, we explored the blurred lines between reality and imagination. The company added, "We understand and acknowledge how featuring someone who identifies as heterosexual in a same-sex kiss could be perceived as queer baiting."
What? What's queer baiting? Somebody's got to explain that to me.
But
I'm not hip with the kids, so what?
I don't know. I'm completely at a loss at this. What is wrong with people? This doesn't make sense.
as a company with a long-standing tradition of advocating for LGBTQ plus rights, it was certainly not our intention to misrepresent the LGBTQ plus community. We sincerely regret any offense we have caused. A female voice is heard in the video talking about opening doors. "Life is opening doors," the voice says before Hadid kisses Michaela's face, "creating new dreams that you never knew could exist." It is unclear if Hadid or Michaela is narrating the video, like that matters in the slightest goddamn bit. Holy crap! Apparently you can't even kiss a female sex bot if you're a woman who isn't a lesbian, apparently, or part of the LGBTQ plus rights groups.
The woke
LBLTGQ.
Queer beating sounds like the inclusive masturbation stuff.
I know that the LGBT community wants to remove bisexual because we're getting too much representation, apparently.
Oh yes. Well, you see,
Wasn't that one? Wait, wasn't that a 4chan troll?
no, it's pretty legit now. Although, whether it started as a troll is completely mysterious, because at this point, they're so damnably gullible that if 4chaners troll it, it just becomes reality now. I can see where Clown World got the movement boost from.
Yeah, they originally did troll it, but now it's becoming an actual thing.
Jesus Christ.
Jordan of Shadow Lightning
destroyed the left yet. It's just so fucking easy.
Jordan of Shadow Lightning, straight guys baiting gay people for visits equals queer baiting. So, are you telling me if we're going to pretend that that's a thing we should give the slightest steaming crap about, that everyone else should be really upset by all these lesbian porn stars and models who are on screen that men pay attention to, but they're lesbian, so it's straight baiting? Are we going to take straight baiting seriously? Why is queer baiting bad, but straight baiting okay?
I love that. It's like, we want representation in our media. Okay, we give you the representation in media. This is queer baiting. We'll just take away the queers then.
Oh, straight baiting, because, you know, people just horribly bad, these heterosexuals lusting over lesbians that they couldn't possibly be with. But it's horribly wrong that there are presentations of heterosexuals that same-sex individuals couldn't possibly be with.
Why are they not arguing more about the robots' rights here? Because like they're assuming its gender, its preferences. I mean, what the fuck?
Look, it's a mechanical puppet. It will say or screw whatever they have it
just like the left then.
do.
Perfect match.
On top of that, actually, the thing is that's actually not uncommon. I've had SJWs told me like, oh, you're not bisexual, you're pansexual.
Well, you see, it's unacceptable because you can be bi because there are more than two genders. There's a infinite spectrum with an infinite spectrum of pronouns that are somehow to be paid attention to, even though
there's a spectrum involved here.
We agreed there. There is indeed a spectrum.
If there's an infinite spectrum, no matter what you do, going to be baiting someone. Unless you include the infinite versions. It's not possible to do.
Nope. On this note, I would like to stress once again that if we're going to grant there are more than two genders, then I need someone out there to explain to me what defines a third gender that separates it from someone who's just arbitrarily claiming to be that gender. What is the objective physical difference? Because I'm pretty sure there isn't one.
What would that gender's purpose be?
That's another good question.
Well, it's like you got the man, his objective is obvious. Then you got the woman who carries the baby, but then the third gender.
Well,
Kurt Vonnegut feels there were several. Maybe he was right, but we'll wait for science to confirm that.
Like mushrooms have like 10,000 genders.
Pretty sure we're not mushrooms.
I actually had an argument with someone who said that there's an infinite amount of genders. And said that, well, in trans people, there's white matter and grey matter, and white matter is usually the female, and grey matter is usually male, and that's how we can tell that someone's trans or not. That's how it happens. And the thing is, the person went like, no, but the thing is that. The thing is that the white matter and grey matter could be imbalanced. So if it was say 50-50, which is impossible, by the way. Then that proves that it would be infinite amount of gender. To which I said, no.
I've heard similar arguments regarding there are a very rare number of intersex individuals, genuine hermaphrodites, but it's so incredibly rare that it doesn't really qualify as a third gender.
No, hermaphrodite is different.
Colossally. But we're already 8 minutes over schedule. Not that there's really anyone after us. I do wonder if it's so bad. Sorry, Steam. We'll just have to save that for another time. On that note, since we've already gone this far over schedule, we have 2 minutes remaining. Is there anything any of you wanted to promote or say your goodbyes or whatever the hell?
Arketer has a big buttery butt. Prove me
Shut
wrong.
up.
Shut him down.
I had a Kit Kat bar today. I win today.
Prove me wrong, Ark.
And this is why I refuse to arbitrarily prove completely slanderous accusations. It never ends.
Going to prove that one, I'm pretty sure it's going to be against YouTube's terms of service.
Yes. Well, probably. I don't know. Is are male buttocks specifically banned, or is that just sort of one of the things they gloss over as part isn't excessively sexual? Look, it doesn't matter because I'm not doing it. Right, well, thank you all for joining me on this open mic article, Wade. I will, of course, be live again this Saturday. My guest will be one Mr. Wicked. I've been on their podcast a few times now. They specialize in real crime commentary and so on. It's sure to be at least vaguely awkward. Be sure to tune in. Also be sure to stay tuned for the Wednesday call-in show with Direwolf Media. In the meantime, ostensibly progress continues. Does here. Again, I don't really know about the rest of the world. Certainly this stream doesn't leave me optimistic. Until next time, ostensibly progress continues. Cheers. Never.
YouTube says Tales of Butterbot.